Why does my horse escape his pen and always seems off when he comes back home? I stared dumbfounded at the empty pen where my supposed dangerous horse was supposed to be. I rubbed my eyes and stared at nothing in the pen. I look around the pen for answers on how he escaped. Nothing. Gates were locked, nothing was damaged or broken, and the panels were still fine with no scratches or anything. I walk around trying to figure out how he got out. It did not make sense. I tried whistling, hoping that he was close by and would come to the call. Nothing. I hopped into the truck going up and down the back roads around my ranch. Within a few hours, I finally found him. My horse was stumbling, swaying side to side, and seemed generally confused. I immediately called the vet. Thomas answers, "I will be at your ranch in an hour. Try giving him some water and don't let him eat. We don't need him to colic. Try vomiting and not be able to." I throw a rope over my horse and very slowly drive back to my ranch as my horse follows. By the time we arrived back, he was sweating profusely. I immediately get him some water and wait for Thomas. Thomas shows up and looks him over. Get his heart rate, check his gums, gut, how his legs flex, and hydration levels. He is a really healthy horse, Thomas states. I looked at Thomas. He was stumbling. That's not normal. Let me see you run him, Thomas says. I do so, and he seems to no longer have any issues that I saw. Great, I thought, watching as Thomas does. He's fine, Alex. I could hear the tone in Thomas's voice suggesting I was a worrywart. I pay Thomas and he leaves. I glared at my horse. $2,000 for you to be perfectly healthy. A month goes by with no issues. My horse stays in his pen and is perfectly fine. No swaying, no stumbling over his feet, absolutely nothing wrong. I couldn't forget it though. Something about it was sticking with me. I sigh after a hard day's work of fixing the fencing for the cattle. I wiped a hand over my brow that had grime and sweat. Hank asks if I wanted to go to the bar. I waved him off. I wasn't much of a drinker. As I pull up my driveway once again, no horse in sight, nothing. I huff in frustration as I immediately go back to where I got him the last time. No luck with the dirt roads this time. I call some of the neighboring farms and ranches. No one has seen my elusive horse. This time it's like he had vanished completely. I backtrack and try tracking his hoofprints, which quickly I find out that it wasn't going to work. For the past 2 days, multiple teenagers had taken their horses out riding, and with no rain, there were too many tracks. I decided to call some of the local businesses in town. The bakery, feed store, and even the grocery store all deny seeing him. I sigh and continue searching for him from my truck and calling around. Time passes as all I get is negatives, and no one has seen my horse. I was at my wit's end and decided to go back to my ranch. As I pulled in at dark, my headlights passed over his pen, and to my shock, my horse was in his pen. "You are a dang magician in horse form," I mutter in disgust as he whinnies at me wanting dinner. I rubbed my temples as frustration mounts as I tossed him a flake of hay. I go to bed. The next morning, I am absolutely livid. My horse is once again out of his pen. I was ready to sell this horse. I couldn't have a horse that randomly would do disappearing acts. I call Thomas, my vet. He's gone once again. I grumble into the phone. "Let me call around and I'll get back to you," Thomas says before hanging up. I stare blankly at the horse's pen in disgust. My phone rings and I answer when I note it's Thomas. Thomas is chuckling through the phone. "Give Hank a call." What's that supposed to mean? Still chuckling, Thomas states it again. "Call Hank." Thomas hangs up. I am left staring at my phone. I call Hank. "Where are you?" "At the bar." Hank slurs into the phone. I'm losing against this guy. He can hold his liquor. I could feel a headache coming on. "I'll be there." I hang up and arrive at the bar with the swinging doors. A crowd was cheering and laughing. It was the most packed I have ever seen the bar. I squeeze and fight my way through before freezing. In the middle of the crowd was Hank trying to outdrink my horse. "What in the blazing flames?" I mutter as I watch dumbfounded as my horse chugs down another beer by grabbing the neck of the bottle with his lips and throwing his head back. He was drunk? "Hey, Alex," slurs as he notes my frozen form. "He can outdrink all of us," Hank says at the same moment my horse starts swaying side to side. My horse is an alcoholic.